Here we go with Gary Konkol now. Since we have seen him last, and it's been about 2 years since we have seen Gary, he has now become Playboy G, has dyed his hair blue, and he loves to dance to some Rod Stewart.
Some people find religion, some people dye their hair. Everyone's got their own thing, Rich.
That's the path that Gary Konkol has decided to follow. Hey, we've seen Gary fight at some really tough fights here in this very cage, and it is good to see him back in here in our first professional fight of the night. Konkol versus Seitz. So that's Playboy G. Now we'll check out the pit bull. A colorful entrance from Gary Konkol. I am expecting a much more serious and business-like entrance from one Devon Seitz. Seitz now 1-2 as a pro, and with talking with him earlier, he seems like he is focused in and all business here tonight as he will try to even up that pro record. Had a couple of bouts against Rodney Alexander, one of them on the undercard at the LFA event that took place at the Sylvie right before COVID-19 kind of shut everything down. And Devon Seitz since then has dropped another one. That was out in Iowa. So now for him, it really is all about getting back on track and getting a win right here in the cage in front of the faithful that have made the trip to come and see him tonight. He's going to have the crowd behind him. Let's see if he can use that momentum to take care of Konkol, who, by the way, I think has embraced the role of villain here tonight. So Konkol and Seitz, our first pro fight coming up, as we'll head back up to the cage and Ken Boatstetter.
All right, this next fight, 3 5-minute rounds in the professional 145-pound class. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man weighed in at 145 pounds, holds a record of 1 victory against 1 defeat. Fighting out of Oak Creek, Wisconsin, representing Nova MMA, Gary Playboy G. Konkol. And his opponent, standing across the cage, fighting in the red corner. He also weighed in at 145 pounds, holds a record of 1 victory against 2 defeats. Fighting out of Madison, Wisconsin, representing Chosen Few, Devon Seitz.
Both guys staring each other down here in this one. Again, Seitz all business and Konkol kind of clowning it up as the double salute from Seitz to Konkol. This one might get testy here early on.
No glove touch, big right hand by Seitz off the bat.
Don't think that either guy likes the other. Seitz with a couple more big shots. Konkol coming in with a kick and getting flipped around by Seitz.
Konkol actually threw a pretty good kick. Seitz defended well, and he's done a really good job. Every time Konkol steps in, Seitz is throwing 2 or 3 punches, no single shots. He's throwing combinations and getting Konkol off balance and getting him out of his face.
Testy early on in this one, our first pro fight of the night as they exchange right there. Seitz finished it off with a left hand to the chin of Konkol.
Yeah, I gotta think this is the best hands that we've ever seen out of Seitz. Sometimes he throws single shots, but he's letting the combinations go. The kick defense isn't bad either, and right there, a little wild, but he's keeping the numbers up, and sometimes that's what you gotta do to let the guy know you need business.
Good exchanges here in the first minute of this fight. Konkol again trying to go with that kick, and every time it seems like Seitz catches it and kind of spins him around. But Konkol there landing with a couple of shots. Seitz fights back.
Yeah, Konkol actually got Seitz there with a 1-2 combination. Seitz doing a good job hanging up the kicks, but he needs to capitalize off that defense. There he gets him to the floor. Kick at the legs, chop a little bit, do something. Make him understand that you're not just defending his strikes, but that you will pay for your mistake.
Konkol inviting Seitz to go down to the mat, and Seitz very happy to stay on his own 2 feet. Konkol will get back up, and we are back to striking in the center of the cage.
And now Seitz throwing in some kicks, but again, he's doing a good job swinging back. Every time Konkol steps in, he's making him pay for it. And there, little touch of the leg and start throwing back up top. Much, much better leg defense. Konkol getting a little more confidence now, weathering the storm and starting to land his own shots.
Seitz fighting back, he's countering more as Konkol, the aggressor, kind of pushing Seitz back a little bit, but every time that Konkol has come forward, Seitz has had an answer so far. Konkol with a lot of kicks here in the early going, and there's a good 1-2 by the Pitbull.
Yeah, Seitz landing some good heavy shots, but I'm looking at the body language. Whoa, big
and there's
right
another
hand.
one.
I'm looking at the body language. It looks to me like Seitz he's throwing heat, but he's getting a little bit tired from these big exchanges. He's got to think about not gassing himself out too hard. We got 2 more 5-minute rounds after we get out of this one. We're only halfway through the first. He spent a lot of energy on those big punches, and while he's landing, if Konkol weathers this storm, he may be the fresher fighter in the 2nd and 3rd round.
That's a really good point as we take a look at the body language again. Now Seitz backing off a little bit, I think trying to catch his breath here a little bit. You're right, he did look a little bit winded, and it does actually right now between the 2 fighters. Konkol a little bit fresher, and the crowd chanting Devon Seitz' name.
Ooh, right there, you can see Seitz loading up that big right hand. Konkol is seeing it, he's ducking off, but Seitz doing a good job. There he mixes up with an uppercut, and he keeps following up with that left.
Sometimes it seems when you're fighting too, missing sometimes takes more out of you than hitting a guy, doesn't it?
Absolutely, you don't get that recoil. You have to work harder to get your punch and your hand back in position. That can be very, very tiring. But on the same hand, getting beat up is pretty tiring too, and so far Gary Konkol's been taking the worst end of the exchanges while he has been landing some of his own.
Absolutely. Good action here in round number 1. Still a little bit more than a minute to go. Konkol still trying to be aggressive. Both guys, though, slowing down the pace just a tad here as we're 4 minutes into this first round.
Konkol's got to not step in when he throws those kicks. Seitz is blocking the kicks right now, but he's not blocking them that aggressively. And if he gets tired as the fight goes on, Konkol might be able to kick through those blocks, but you see where Konkol steps in, he gets touched like that every time.
Every time as he is stepping in, and Seitz is straightening him out with some good shots. Another good right hand by Seitz, and then a left that missed. Konkol counters with a kick to the side of the head. Good left by Konkol, but then another left followed up by Seitz. A little blood now coming from the nose of Devon Seitz.
See right there as Seitz exited, Konkol landed a good kick right there. That's when it's safe to throw kicks, but when he steps in, he's getting caught big by Devon Seitz.
Another good kick by Konkol, and it pushed Seitz all the way back into the fence of the cage. Another kick here by Konkol. Seitz missing with the right hand. Blood also coming from the side of the face, and Konkol got caught with a good left.
Man, Konkol really just walking through everything like a zombie. He's wearing it on his face. He's battered and bruised, but just ignoring the onslaught.
Excellent action in round number 1. Both guys expending a lot of energy. We'll see how they'll fare in round 2 of our first pro fight of the night from the Chosen Few Fighting Championships at Monona Terrace on TVW. A lot of striking, a lot of hits there. Look at that good right hand by Devon Seitz as we take a look at the action from round number 1. Good shots landed by both fighters.
Yeah, really good first round. I had just an edge for Devon Seitz, but man, what a war so far.
Seitz was bleeding from his nose. Konkol with some scratches on the right side of his face.
Brotherhood through combat. They've earned each other's respect, and they start off round 2 with a glove touch.
Just going to say, Devon Seitz flipped the double bird to start the fight. Now they're touching gloves here in round number 2, and that is how you do earn respect.
You know, they say you really learn a man's soul through fighting, and they've really been getting well acquainted so far. And like I said, that mutual respect. And again, they're right back at it, throwing hard. Seitz is looking for those knockout punches, and Konkol doing a good job. He's actually a little more technical, landing that good left kick, which is, you know, your opposite stance. You keep looking for those kicks, and like I said, as Seitz tires, those kicks are going to really add up. Just kicking the arms of Seitz, it's going to make him harder for him, rather, to throw those big punches back. And now we see Konkol kind of getting away with the fight, taking the lead so far.
He has here in this second round as Seitz has been on his heels. The blood once again coming from the nose of the pit bull as Konkol using a good combination of kicks and punches to wear out Seitz here in the second round. Man, the pit bull has been bloodied.
Yeah, both guys showing damage, but so far in the second round, Konkol's been not quite as much power, but everything's based on technique, so he's the little bit fresher fighter. And again, he's using his rear leg very, very well. Now he's kind of switching stances. If I was in his corner, I'd tell him to go back to lefty, because that left push kick to the body, left kick to the body, left high kick is really paying off for him. And right there, he's stepping in. Bad news with Seitz, because again, he still has that power.
And he got caught
there.
again. Straightened up by a left hand from Seitz, and that's where Konkol seems to be making his mistakes, is when he's stepping in. When he stays back at range, been doing a good job. I know you had mentioned the body, landing body kicks, body shots, and doing a good job against Seitz, but every time he steps in, he gets caught, and now he's got a big egg on the side of his head as well.
Exactly, and then we see Konkol, now he's back in that left, well, he was back in the left stance, and there as he switches, Seitz does the right thing and clips him. When you switch stances, your defense is going to be worse on the other side. So now we see he goes back to his regular better side. He's got that left kick waiting. He can stay a little bit farther away and throw that kick from distance where it's a little bit safer.
Good comeback here by Seitz after the first minute of the round. Easily went to Konkol. It has been Seitz over the last 60 to 90 seconds getting the better of it right now. Blood raining down on both guys. Is a good right from Seitz. There's a cut, it seems, that has also opened up above the left eye of Devon Seitz as well.
Oh,
maybe just to the side.
Knee and 2-punch, 3-punch combination from Konkol. Seitz doing pretty well, not wobbled. Hard left jab of his own. Still swinging, and Konkol little bit overly desperate there, kind of got sloppy on the inside, but luckily didn't catch anything big from Seitz.
Both of these men have dished out punishment, and both have taken it and have wore it pretty darn well here in our first pro fight of the night, and they are giving the crowd everything that they could hope for. The pit bull bloodied up and being backed up right now by Konkol. Konkol has been using a good combination of kicks and punches to get to the pit bull, and now the pit bull trying to lock him up for the first time in the fight.
Right, I think this fight's, both guys got guts, both guys got power. Oh, big 2-punch combination. Seitz on his heels right now.
Seitz has got to get his hands up as Konkol has been landing, and now a kick as well kind of caught him, and a combination from Konkol. Seitz is in trouble. Seitz trying to punch his way back out of it, and that's sometimes the best way to do it. Good defense, or the best defense is a good offense, and that's what Seitz is using.
I was about to say this fight's going to come down to conditioning. Konkol seems to be the fresher fighter, so he's got the edge, but again, Seitz is still dangerous.
Seitz still throwing big shots, although a little less steam on these shots here in the final round, or final minute of round number 2. Man, oh man, what a fight. One of the best in memory here out of all the chosen few fighting championships we have seen. Konkol continuing to walk down Seitz. Seitz giving up ground, but coming back with a combination of his own.
Konkol is pressing forward. He's getting in a little bit close, like right there. He's landing, but he's giving Seitz the opportunity to land back. When he pecks on the outside like that, that's where he's doing the best. But again, right there, Seitz still game, still launching that one big punch, keeping himself in this fight, trying to keep Konkol somewhat honest and just kind of delay the onslaught that Konkol's putting on him right now.
Credit to both of these men being able to withstand serious damage. Konkol with blood and a goose egg on the side of his head, and Seitz just wearing all of those bloody shots from Konkol, and a good knee sends Seitz back here in the final few seconds of round number 2. And the crowd coming to a crescendo here at Monona Terrace. What a round. We'll see if they can finish it as exciting as they started it. The third and final round up next here on TVW. Wow. Here's action from round number 2, and wow, the blood spraying from the nose of Seitz as he caught a right hand from Konkol. I know a lot of times when you watch fighting in movies and they set it up, it always seems like two guys are just throwing haymakers, and that never really happens in real life. It's happening right here, right now with Konkol and Seitz.
Absolutely, and like I was saying, this is going to come down to who's better conditioned. Either guy could zig or zag the right or wrong way and catch the other, but man, it's going to, so far they both wore it. It's going to come down to who can gut this out and dig deeper, and they're a very smart move, big takedown for Seitz. Man, that second round, the stand-up was getting away from him, and now hopefully he can mount some offense on the ground, but again, Konkol still staying active, getting the feet up, high guard, threatening a submission, looking to lock up a triangle.
Yep, and Seitz almost walked right into it. I don't think that he's got it yet.
Oh, it's kind of loose. He's almost got an armbar. Seitz is tapping.
Yep, as the armbar, and that is it. Seitz makes the mistake, drops that left arm. Konkol gets it, the armbar and the victory for Playboy G. Wow, what a fight. I'm guessing it's the fight of the night, and why not? Holy cow, just nothing but haymakers, and then an exciting finish as Gary Konkol, covered in blood, gets the victory tonight against the Pitbull in an amazing fight, a memorable one here at Chosen Few Fighting Championships number 19. Konkol and Seitz will hug it out, and we will be back with the final decision here from Monona Terrace on TVW. Amazing fight, and here is the finish as we take a look at the replay. And right there, Seitz extending that left arm, and Konkol taking advantage as it was the armbar that ends up getting Seitz.
Yeah, right there, he's got kind of that loose triangle, switches it to the armbar. Seitz pulls away, extends his own arm, and that's all she wrote.
Tapping out right away right there, as you don't want to get that arm out of the socket, as that shoulder socket really extended right there for Devon Seitz, and a great job by Gary Konkol, who definitely came in as the underdog according to the crowd, but finishes as the winner tonight in one of the more bloody and memorable fights that we have seen in this cage here at Monona Terrace. And it looked like neither guy had respect for each other at the beginning. They end up hugging it out and having, just a moment there in the cage.
There's no way you can't respect each other after putting all that in the cage.
Amazing.
A big round of applause for these two warriors. I gotta say that round number 2 was probably the craziest round I've ever watched up close. That was amazing. Your referee, Tom Davalos, has called a halt to this contest. 37 seconds of round number 3. Declaring your winner by armbar, Gary Playboy G. Konkol.
Konkol gets the finish and the W. As we got one more pro fight to go, we are back taking a look at the main event. JT Schulte fights next here
like
on
TVW. If you don't know our gym, you're going to know us after tonight. Am I right? Hey, tell Josh next time I come back, we better have some table seats open up for my squad. My people got bad eyes and we got to stand way in the back. That ain't cool. Where's Nova? Yeah, baby. That's us out there. Come on, Madison. I come here a lot and I put on a show every time. You got to show love and support no matter what. That's the name of the game. I'm out. I'll be back for that title, Josh.